Hi, I'm Trey Pastor, and this is a movie review of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which came out Friday, August 5th, 2011. It stars James Franco, Rita Pinta, and John Lithgow. Basically, this is a remake of the 1970s movie Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, starring the late Roddy McDowall. Okay, this movie is slightly different than the 70s version, and you still have the ape named Caesar, and basically it's the same basic story, except they changed it around a little bit. In this one, James Franco's character is a scientist who's trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's. John Lithgow, who plays his father, has a real bad case of Alzheimer's, so he's trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's, and basically he's experimenting on monkeys. Okay, and basically what he does, he finds one particular monkey he's experimenting on, a female monkey, and he gives her the drug, and she shows remarkable intelligence. But what happens is, on the day they're about to show her off to investors to get more funding for their research, she goes berserk, and they wind up putting her down, and they cancel all further testing. And later, when they go to clean her cage, they find out that actually she was pregnant, and she was actually trying to protect her baby. And what happens is, James Franco's character takes the monkey home, and his father names it Caesar. And basically, from that point on, they raise it basically as James Franco's son. And what James Franco notices over the course of a couple of following months, that the monkey Caesar shows remarkable intelligence. He's writing, he's signing, and just showing incredible intelligence, which James Franco credits to the drug that they gave his mother. And then James Franco sneaks some of the experimental drug out, and he gives it to his father, John Lithgow, who also shows remarkable intelligence, but there's a fatal flaw in it, that it doesn't last long in humans, and his father starts to reverse. And then basically, what happens is, his father has an episode where basically he tries to take the neighbor's car, and the neighbor basically attacks him outside, and Caesar, seeing this, considering John Lithgow's character to be his grandfather, he attacks the neighbor, which leads to the second part of the movie, where Caesar gets taken away and put into an animal sanctuary, where this is the first time he's been around fellow apes, so he doesn't quite know how to react. And in fact, he gets beat up in the beginning because the other apes make fun of him because he doesn't know anything about dominance and being subservient to other apes. But since his character Caesar is intelligent, he learns, he quickly adapts. And there even comes a point where James Franco's character comes back and to bribe the owner of the sanctuary to try to take Caesar back. But at that point, Caesar doesn't want to go back. He doesn't consider that to be home anymore because he basically feels John Franco's character is abandoned him. So basically, what he does, he starts a revolt basically on the sanctuary, on the owner's son, who's a real douchebag, who's played by the same actor who was in the Harry Potter movies that played Malfoy. I believe that's it. Basically, he just torments the apes and stuff. But the Caesar has a plan for him, and basically Caesar he escapes from the sanctuary, goes back to James Franco's house, grabs some more of that experimental drug, and he exposes his fellow apes in the sanctuary to the drug, and you can see the change in all of them. And then they lead a revolt, and they actually go back to the lab where the other apes are being tested again, and he breaks them out, and they basically try to get to a sanctuary. And basically, the big showdown is on a bridge, on the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, and it's incredible. The CGI work, what I really want to stress in this review is the CGI work on the monkeys is incredible. I mean, to me, the orangutans, the apes, the chimpanzees, and the gorillas look fully real, not fake at all. And actually, I think part of the reason of that is the actor who plays Caesar. Caesar actually is a CGI ape, but the stop motion part of it, the human acting part of it, I guess, was done by the same guy who did Gollum and the King Kong. His name is Andy Serkis. Okay, he did the King Kong, the CGI facial recognition thing for CGI, and for King Kong, and also for the Gollum character in the Lord of the Rings movies. And you can see, what I love about this movie is you can see the plotting with Caesar's in the sanctuary, how he's slowly turning, to this compassionate ape he was. He's where he's slowly turning into this, he's using all his intelligence to plot a way to escape, to get his fellow apes out and to escape. And it's incredible. I think this is one of the best movies of the summer, and I would highly recommend it. And I know my rating system, I give movies 4 stars. I would give this 4 stars. Actually, well, maybe 3.5, because as far as the apes are concerned, it's great. But I think James Franco's character is a kind of a douchebag in a way, because he knew that he didn't visit Caesar, and he knew that. I mean, he didn't have much of a choice. I mean, they took Caesar away from him by court order, so he couldn't do anything about that. But he didn't make a concerted effort, to me, to visit Caesar more. I mean, there's a part in the movie where he actually convinces the head of the research grant to actually start experimenting again on monkeys, and he's more consumed with that than seeing with Caesar, because you can slowly see how Caesar is slowly turning away from humans, and he's bonding with his fellow apes. Anyway, I highly recommend this movie. It's fantastic, and I mean, the violence is not too great, where kids get squeamish. It's not a lot of blood or anything in it, but it's a great movie, and I highly recommend it. And also, before I leave, they did kind of set it up for a sequel, okay? And I think this movie is going to be successful. I think they can make a sequel to this, and I look forward to seeing more adventures of Caesar. Okay, so that's it, and thank you for listening.